All right, all right, all right. I Bleed Orange Sports Network. Such a time as this, we got a lot to talk about. Boy, do we got a lot to talk about. Thanks for joining I Bleed Orange Tuesday 7:30 podcast. I'm with Rowdy Tiger, and this broadcast is actually sponsored by the Wilhite House. They came on board as a sponsor last week, and just want to talk a little bit about it. We did a live show there Friday at noon. Of course, we couldn't do it Saturday because we're all going to the game. But anyways, if you've ever been down to Anderson, it's right off Main Street. It's 604 South McDuffie Street. It's within walking distance of Rains on Main Bar and Grill. If you know where that is, it's right off of right downtown in Anderson. You can go there and book you a place at booking.com. I personally stayed there, so I can attest for these great places. It was a mansion that was built back in 1850. And they'd used it for many things after the family died, and it had gone vacant for about 10 years. And they restored it a couple of years ago. And have you ever seen one of those old historic houses that had the above ground tubs in each bedroom or each bathroom? Each bedroom has a fireplace. It's just really nice place. You go in there, it's reasonable. You come down, eat dinner with everybody in the morning. It's a true bread and breakfast. Great couple. Wilhite House, 604 South McDuffie Street, Anderson, South Carolina. Go on booking.com. And it was a good rate, actually, to book it at. Cheaper than most hotels. All right. We're going to get into football a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about basketball. I was thinking about it a little bit today. I was listening a little bit of it on the radio. Clemson moved up to number 16. We upset Kentucky. I'll be at the game Saturday. We're playing Memphis. And I just think Clemson basketball is actually getting a little disrespect. We went to the Elite Eight last year, and we could have easily beaten Alabama and gone to the Final Four. And we come back into the preseason, and Clemson gets no respect. And if it was football, people would be raising all kind of cane. But I think that's kind of what they've gotten used to. But I believe Clemson's in top 10, top 5 in the nation. I think we got a chance. I know we're going to win the ACC championship.
Yeah,
haven't done that in a while.
I mean, the basketball team looks good, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they look really good. I mean,
Kentucky
I don't know if I don't think we've ever beat Kentucky.
No, number 4. I mean, we've upset a number 1 Duke, I think, once, and maybe UNC, but they're in their conference. But Kentucky actually beat Duke. So anyways, they're looking really good on defense. Just show you a little bit about their defense. A little thing about defense on basketball. Our defense is one of the best defenses in the country. We only shot 37% and still beat Kentucky. So that says a lot about our defense. But anyways, they lost P.J. Hall, and we picked up a few people. So, the games to go to Little John at home, they're a lot of fun. They're inexpensive. Parking's easy to get in and out of there. We'll be down there Saturday. So if anybody wants to get together with us and go to a game, just reach out to me. So we'll be at the basketball game Saturday. We got a long season to go there with that until we get to March. So we got a lot to talk about football.
Hey, man.
Do we ever?
We showed up for the ACC championship game. You and I both got the tailgate together.
It was awesome. Both football cookout. It was cold, but it wasn't as cold as I thought it would be. Lost Rob here for a second. But yeah, it was electric there. Waiting on Rob to get on. Internet connection.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think something happened.
Here you, I can see you. But it was Charlotte, North Carolina, Queen City. It's a night game. I actually like my seats. I like kind of being up a little bit. You can see the whole play developing, and you're right down there by the field.
Yeah.
And
like I said, I mean, I went into this game expecting it to be a very close game. I didn't expect us to go up as big as we did at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I have this habit where I record all the games, and then I rewatch the game when the game, like the next day or Monday or whatever, I'll rewatch the game, and I like focus on little things like the offensive line, the defensive linebacker, like stuff like that, and just kind of analyze what happened. And, and then, all the armchair coaches out there that are all over Facebook that's bashing the coach, bashing this, bashing that. I mean, we won the ACC championship game, and you still got all these fans out here negatively speaking.
We've won 8 out of the last 10.
Like I said, we won the game. Okay, we won the game, and everybody's wanting to nitpick about what happened. Blah. I went back and watched the game.
Yeah,
and you can nitpick all you want. You can blame coaching. You can blame this. You can point the finger wherever you want. But I will tell you this: after rewatching the game on TV, recorded TV, whatever, SMU came out in the halftime with a different game plan. Number one, they literally came out with a different game plan. And they started throwing these like little short passes and little out routes and, just stuff underneath our wide receivers. Their defense their defense played a different game. They saw, okay, we're passing, we're doing all these things. They came out with a better defensive plan. That's what you do. As a coach, as a head coach, you adjust. You go into halftime and you make adjustments. Right. SMU came out and had a game plan adjustment.
That was one of the best
team. They're a good team. They're not a team that should have been blown out. That's why they went into halftime and what was it? 21-7 at halftime? 28-7 at half. I think it was 21-7 at halftime. 24-7 at halftime.
It was 14.
They came out and they made adjustments, and they was able to stop our offense, which you can sit there and say, well, play calling. Clemson's play calling was the same play calling in the first half. Okay.
Well,
SMU's defense just came out and said, all right, we know what they're going to do. Let's just stop what they're doing.
Clemson, somebody summed it up. This has been one of the weirdest college football seasons ever. There really is not. I think Oregon, to be honest with you, they're the number one team, but I think one of the worst number one teams there ever been. I mean, there's really no dominant team out there. There really isn't. And Clemson's just as good as any team out there. But the problem that they've had is playing consistent full game. They had one of the best first halves they ever had. Now, we've done this like 3 games in a row. We go into halftime. We did it with Pitt, we did it with Carolina, and we did it Saturday night. And then we come out, and it's almost like we're playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
Yeah, you could look at it like that, but also you got to look at it like this. First of all, we lost Haynes. Haynes gets hurt.
Yeah.
All right. And it did not look good with him. I have not seen an injury update on him yet. I've been looking,
and Moffa's already not.
I haven't seen an injury update yet on Haynes, but he came out on crutches with a brace on his leg. Moffa was not 100%. Number one, we were facing one of the top run defenses in the nation. Okay, that we were not going to get big runs. So all you fans out there who are armchair coaching right now saying, well, we should, Moffa wasn't getting anything and Haynes, blah, blah, this. And I mean, look at Cade. Every time he tried to run the ball, he only got a few yards.
Yeah.
But they were one of the best defenses in the nation. Look it up. The stats don't lie. They were one of the top teams in the nation in run defense.
Well, then
therefore, that's why we passed when we passed. And the passing game,
our passing game's good. Our passing game was on. And now, we went, we did a little razzle dazzle in there, and
Cole Turner drop pass, Wesco drop pass, TJ Moore several drop passes.
Yeah,
Brenningstool drop passes. There were so many drop passes that the Clemson wide receivers had in the ACC championship game that probably would have been a bigger deal if they caught them, meaning like we would have stayed on the field, we would have maybe got more points. Okay, we were definitely going to get first downs because there was one I remember, Cole Turner, he caught it. It was like right here, right at the line or the first down marker, dropped.
Yeah,
I mean, you catch those passes, and the game's a different game.
It's just like we didn't play a full 4 quarters. I mean. You come out, you don't know the game started. They got the ball first. They won the toss, and they elected to give us the ball first. which I don't think is very smart. But
hey, I told you. What did Saban say in game day? He said that quarterback holds the ball one-handed in the pocket. Somebody's going to knock it out of his hands. And the third play of the game, Parker comes in and knocks it right out of his hands.
Yeah. Got off to a great start. And we're feeling pretty good by halftime. And then, I saw the same thing happen a couple of times. It happened with Pittsburgh. It happened with Carolina. It just seems like we came out that second half. We need to just go in for the kill, go ahead and play to win instead of playing so conservative. And then, went into the fourth quarter feeling actually pretty good at the fourth quarter because we're up by 17 points. And within no time, we had the ball up by 17 points. So I remember that correctly. We had the ball, but they got it back real quick. And I remember they scored a touchdown. And it was 13 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And I'm looking at the clock, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, they got too much time. And I kept looking at that clock because our offense was going bland at that point. We weren't getting first downs. I think maybe we got 1 or 2 first downs the rest of that fourth quarter. And then, it's just, I'll never forget this game, especially being there at night. So then they go down, and he makes that catch. And at first we didn't know if he made it or not. They did the review, and it looked like, he had possession of the ball. So I don't know about you, but honestly, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm not a negative person. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not even thinking about winning the game. There's 16 seconds left. I'm thinking overtime. I'm thinking, if we go to overtime, we're probably going to lose because momentum's not in our favor. So I'm just like,
I was sitting in the stands saying the same thing. I'm like, all right, well, we're going to go to overtime. And Adam Randall busts out that big play. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
And I start thinking there's a chance. And then the next play.
And then I was like, all we needed to do was get like a little bit more distance. But then I was like, we had the timeout. So we could have got there. But
we were like 9 seconds at that point.
I don't know if you saw the video, but I've seen the video of Hauser, however you want to. Hauser, however you say it. I don't know if you've seen the video. And I've seen the video.
He winked.
He looked at the sideline, smiled, and winked at the coaches and kicked a 56-yard
18 years old, true freshman. Half the country's watching him. At least half the Southeast are football fans. You got millions of people watching you. And smooth as cool cucumber, man.
Listen,
I didn't think he was going to make it, honestly.
He's had a rough season with field goal kicks.
Well, those blocks.
6 blocked field goals.
That's not his fault.
9 misses total. 10 misses total because he missed one in the ACC championship game itself.
Yeah. They said normally
what a confidence.
Normally they hike the ball 7 yards back because of all the blocks. They started going 8 yards back, which made the field. If you watch this, after they said that, I started watching replays. They go 8 yards instead of 7 yards because he was getting so many blocks. If you really watch it, it could have been another yard or so. There were people coming in that could have blocked it. So maybe that extra yard, and that's not his fault. That's blocking. That's the line's fault.
Oh, no. If all the blocks, they came right through the line.
I didn't even think
they just bulldozed the line over.
Yeah, that's where they're coming up the middle. And so I'm sitting there on the edge. I'm not even on the edge of my seat. I was standing up. Like, God.
I stood up the whole time.
Oh, they were around, man. We had some fun. We had fun there. These people around us it was pretty much 85% Clemson, I'd say. We were high five.
I will say this, and I haven't said anything publicly yet, but I was disappointed in the attendance for the ACC
I noticed that.
Game. You got a first time team.
Well, they even had that. They had that tarp over
Clemson, and I get it. There were a lot more Clemson fans, but man, that stadium was empty.
You saw the tarp in the upper end zone on both sides.
Yeah, I
guess they didn't sell the seats.
I was highly disappointed in the attendance in the game. I don't know if it was the temperatures that drove everybody away or what the deal was.
It was cold, but I was expecting it to feel cold.
I dressed warm enough. I took my 10-year-old son, and I kept asking him the whole time, are you good? You cold? You good? You cold? And he's like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. And we dressed appropriately, but I don't know. I was highly disappointed in the attendance in that game.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and say, well, it was Clemson playing Duke or, some other team that wasn't ranked. You
Well,
had
I get SMU not having as many
you had
people.
2 top 15 ranked teams.
Yeah,
Okay, the stadium should have been packed,
you're right about that. Yeah,
and
that's
I don't
weird.
know why it
I
wasn't.
don't know if it was the cold weather or what it was, but
I mean, you could
it wasn't
say,
that
okay,
bad.
well, SMU, their fans maybe they don't travel as well,
Yeah.
but that was really a home game for Clemson.
I
So
mean, we played a lot of
that
teams.
stadium should have been packed
Yeah,
to
I
the
agree with
hilt
you.
with Clemson fans.
I'll get they it seats 76. I thought it was less than that, but it's bigger than I thought it
Dude,
was.
the ticket prices were not
Reason-
expensive.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I mean, I know inflation and prices, but that's a game right there that everybody should have gone to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You missed a good game. You missed a live good game. I mean, yeah, we should have blown them out the way we played in the first half, but for it to come down to a field goal kick, 31-31 at 3 seconds left with a 56-yard kick, man, you can't ask for a better game.
I was telling anyways, I was telling somebody on the way back to the hotel, I was like, that game was probably the most exciting in my Clemson history, simply because I didn't go to the national championship out in California. That
I didn't either. I did not attend any.
That was the most epic moment, being there. And I didn't think the kick. First of all, I didn't think it was going to make it. And the stadium went ballistic, dude. I slept 30 minutes. I'm not making that up. I could not. I was so pumped up, couldn't go to sleep. Next day, driving back to Spartanburg, Dad's like, "Come on, we're going out for your birthday dinner." I'm thinking, they can't lose my birthday. We had a great time, great game.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun tailgating. It was fun atmosphere.
Yeah,
I'm just like I said, I'm just a little disappointed in the attendance. I think a lot of Clemson fans felt like, oh well, we didn't really earn our way there, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of our fans are starting to act like Ohio State and Alabama fans, and it's getting kind of annoying.
We had a couple of things had to happen to get there, which made it even more miraculous. We had to have Syracuse, after we
lost one conference game. Okay.
Yeah.
One.
That we should have won. Really. Louisville's not a bad team, but come on, man. We had an off week. We're playing at home.
We had 2 blocked field goals in that game.
Yeah, we just did not play good. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Like I said, we lost one conference game.
Yeah, we'd won that game.
Miami loses 2 conference games.
Yeah.
And granted, the teams that they lost to have winning records, Georgia Tech and Syracuse.
And I don't even know if we'd beaten South Carolina. I don't even know if we'd beaten South Carolina.
We would not be playing Texas at Texas.
We wouldn't even be in the playoffs. We wouldn't be in the ACC championship. The only thing that got us there.
No.
Think about it this way: we beat South Carolina and Miami beat Syracuse. You think we would have made it?
No. I take that back. Hold on.
So. We've been like Alabama.
Hold on. So here's the thing: if we beat South Carolina and Miami beat
the ACC championship,
we would not have been in the ACC championship game with an automatic bid. Okay.
Right.
However, I don't think they would have kept us out. Because if we beat South Carolina, that was a top 25 ranked team.
Yeah.
All right. So we would have won. We would have beat them. We were already ranked 12 at the time.
Yeah, but then we'd be like in the same position as Alabama.
If we would have beat South Carolina, I don't think they would have kept us out. Okay. I don't think they would have kept us out if we would have won. Now, losing to South Carolina, that's where the dilemma came in, or the chaos, whatever you want to call it, came in. If Miami would have beat Syracuse, no, we were not in at all.
Right.
We would be playing in some other bowl. All right. So
some things had to happen for us to get there. So
I said, and honestly, truly, Miami should be in the playoffs. Okay. But who do you take out? For Miami to be in, who do you take out?
I didn't
realize
because it's been 2 years since we've been. And I didn't realize, coming back, all of a sudden it's on the radio going down to 12. I was thinking some reason they do it Tuesday night. Like, cool, we get to find out right away. And I'm sure none of these guys slept. And I already knew we were in. The most interesting thing that everybody was talking about, SMU and Alabama. I mean, we kind of knew who else was in there. We knew Clemson was. And I'm just glad that they didn't pick Alabama.
Yeah.
And I know.
Well, I'm sorry. Alabama was not. They did not. They did not deserve to be in there.
Yeah.
They were trying to put him in because they're trying to say that they were 3-1 over ranked teams. But you lost to Vandy. You lost to Oklahoma. How do you think that the committee should put you in? Oh, I'm sorry.
Vandy, they lost to Oklahoma.
You were 3-1
and
ranked
they lose to? What was the third? Tennessee? No.
What?
I know they lost to Vandy. They lost to Oklahoma. What was the other team? Was it Ole Miss?
Who? Alabama?
Yeah.
Hold on. Give me a second here.
I'm just trying to remember.
I don't necessarily remember exactly.
They beat Georgia. That was their big win.
Georgia almost beat them, but they came back.
Yeah.
Who was their other loss?
I'm thinking it was
all right, let's see here.
Alabama football.
They lost to Vanderbilt. They beat South Carolina. Tennessee was their other loss.
Okay, Tennessee. Okay. I was watching this guy. Now, somebody sent me a text message. I was watching it as a YouTube video. This guy's predicted it correctly like 3 or 4 years in a row. But they've been he predicted each game, but you got 4 teams. And he was predicting Clemson to beat Tennessee and then lose in the second round to State. What's the name of it? What's the state? Not Boise State. Arizona State, which I think we're better than Arizona State. But anyways, he had this bracket going through. He hadn't missed, but he's been doing the 4. I guess he's some kind of football prophet or something. I don't think he's going to be right, but he had Georgia and Tennessee in the Natty, and Tennessee winning. But no, I don't see Tennessee winning. Like I'm saying, it's a weird season in the fact that there is no dominant team out there. I mean, Georgia can pretty much beat anybody, but there's not a dominant team out there that's just dominating the whole season. I think once Oregon runs across Georgia or somebody, they're going to lose. I don't see Oregon winning it.
I mean, so we played Texas. We played Texas in Austin.
Yeah.
I don't think Clemson has ever played Texas in Austin in the history of college football.
Have we played them ever?
I don't know. I don't in my lifetime, no.
I don't.
But what is the lifetime of Clemson versus Texas? I don't know if we've ever played them, but I'm going to say this.
Never played them. Texas.
Mark my words. You can write this down. I truly believe Texas is a team we can beat.
I think we're going to beat them.
I think it's a team we can beat.
The game will mark the first.
If we can show up and our defense shows up and our offense shows up, I believe we can win. We can beat Texas. I don't think there's just some big team that is going to roll us over.
This game would be the first meeting ever.
That's what I thought.
Yep, this would be the first meeting ever. Texas, combined win all-time victory. Texas has a combined 959 wins. Clemson has 808. They combined for 1,767 all-time victories. And both rank among the top 13 in FBC history. We've never played. So that's interesting. So we have no history there. But that's an exciting matchup. There'll be a lot of orange, different kinds of orange. Old Matthew McConaughey, all right. I heard that's a kind of a nasty place to play, being an opponent. If we play 4 quarters, I mean, we got to play 4 quarters. We can't play one half and not play the other half. If we're consistent, if Clemson's consistent every quarter, we can beat anybody in the nation. We can't just go into halftime ahead and then come out and play stale. We got to play a full. I mean, against Georgia, we played pretty good the first half, and then our defense got worn out. We just need to play 4 quarters. Play the play this ahead of us and concentrate on the moment, play each play.
Yeah.
And I think if we do get ahead, we need to play to win and not play to lose, because I think the timidity that we play with when we're ahead, that we won't go ahead and put the game out of reach. We should have done it with Carolina. It's just like, go ahead and go for it, because that's what works. When we're gunning the ball, we're doing a fast tempo, and we're going for it. It usually pays off for us. When we slow down and do the run up the middle, the down and out screen pass, we don't get a first down, we can do the same thing again the next down. And the next thing you know, we've gone 3 or 4 series without getting a first down. And then the other team comes back, starts scoring, momentum shifts. And that's happened with us 3 games in a row. It would have been a lot nicer. I mean, I kind of glad it went down the way it did, because I'll never forget it. It was epic. Man, once that field goal went through, but it'd been nice, just kind of breeze through the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean,
points.
The amount of weeks that we have off, I'm really hoping that Maffa can get 100% healthy, because you can tell in the last 4 games, I want to say, he has not been running 100%.
Not at all.
You can tell that he kind of gets to the line and just kind of timidly runs, like it's like he's trying not to take a big hit.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand you want to play this is his last year, and I get it. And so
Cade's are great. Cade, I don't think people realize how good Cade is. They had Cade statistics. I was looking today against that Oregon quarterback who's in the top 4 finalists for the Heisman Trophy winner. Cade's got him beat in every category: touchdowns. He's got less interceptions. He's got more yards. I mean, the whole passing percentage is higher. Your job as a receiver, if they throw it to you right in the belly, you need to catch that thing before you turn downfield, instead of turning downfield and then dropping the ball.
Yeah. But, Ewers has a tendency to throw some interceptions. So I'm hoping,
we need to put
our DBs will have like an early Christmas, and
That's right. That's right for Christmas. It'd be nice going into Christmas knowing your team's still alive. Because I'm assuming the next game when is the next game? I know that the championship game would be the 20th of January. Let's just look it up real quick. But we need to keep him running. And I think we can match up with pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of fans that I've seen have been saying that they need to start Manning and not play Ewers. So
I think Manning's better, actually. All right. Why don't they have the dates on here?
So I think I feel good, man. Honestly, I feel good going against Texas. I feel like that's a team we can win. We can beat them. And I feel like, beating them at their home is going to be even better. So
guess who we play?
First time Clemson ever goes into Austin, Texas, and, playing them Longhorns in that big stadium. So
guess who we play if we win? Wild guess.
I had this already.
Of course, it's a team that's got a bye.
Yeah, it's a team that's got a bye, but
the team we've already played. Oh,
I want to say it's like Arizona State or something like that.
Oh, it's got Georgia in there.
Hold on, let me look. Let me look. Here we go.
No, this is weak.
We play Arizona State.
You're right. You're right. I'm looking at an old one.
We play Arizona State if we win. Which I'm like, okay, I'll take that all day, because right now Oregon will play either Ohio State or Tennessee.
Yeah, how good is Arizona State?
Oregon's going to win that game, which means it'll be if I know we can beat Arizona State. Okay, I know we can beat Arizona State. So we play Arizona State. If we win, we play Arizona State. We beat Arizona State. We'll probably most likely play Oregon in the Cotton Bowl on January 10th.
Yeah, we'll beat Arizona State. I think
we just got to get past Texas. We get past Texas, I know we can get past Arizona State. Now, Oregon, that'll be the test. That will be the
Oregon
test.
barely beat Ohio State, and Ohio State got beat by Michigan. That's what I'm saying. There's no dominant team out there. Ohio State's It's not.
Well, Oregon really hasn't played anybody but the Big Ten, and I've said it for years that the Big Ten is the most overrated conference that there is.
I agree with you.
Now,
College.
what is interesting is on the other side. Okay, I think SMU could beat Penn State. All right.
SMU's got that quarterback's good.
Oh, he's good. And the running back was good. So SMU, I feel, will beat Penn State. Okay. Then they go and play Boise State. Does Boise State beat SMU? That will be
a great game.
That's the question right there.
That will be a shootout. That running back they have,
right?
Ashton.
I feel Notre Dame is definitely going to beat Indiana. All right. And then Georgia and Notre Dame will play. I feel Notre Dame will beat Georgia. I don't think Georgia is as good as they have been kind of made out to look like. They won the conference, but I mean, there was several games this year that they should have lost.
Notre Dame's been dominating.
They should have lost to Georgia Tech, number one.
Yeah, Notre Dame had that one loss. They pretty much dominated the season. Then they had I don't know, they didn't show up. They went out and partied too late that night or what. But they got beat by Northern Illinois. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they got beat bad. I was at Death Valley and I saw that come up on the scoreboard. I'm like, is that right? But they had their one bad game. We had our one bad game, and that was against Louisville. So I guess every team's entitled to. I guess Alabama's one bad game was against Vanderbilt, but. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a great game. Georgia and Notre Dame.
So I think Notre Dame will beat Georgia. I think Boise State will beat – I think SMU will beat Penn State, okay? So you got Boise State versus SMU. I think Boise State will beat SMU in that. And so I think it'll be Boise State versus Notre Dame. And I think it'll be Clemson versus Oregon. That's your Final Four.
Clemson versus Oregon.
I think it'll be Clemson versus Oregon, Boise State versus Notre Dame, and that's your Final Four.
Final Four. Boise State.
I will say I don't think Clemson will beat Oregon. And I know I'm a bleed orange. I bleed orange, baby.
Yeah.
But that Oregon,
we've never played Oregon, have we?
We never have. But I just feel Oregon might be too good on all sides of the field for us to win.
Well, I had showed up at the show Friday with Harley Davidson shirt on, a jacket, pullover. Everybody's like, where's your orange? And I woke up that morning because I'd watched the Jim Valvano 30 for 30 on ESPN. I've never seen this, one of the greatest stories ever. And nobody expected, and I let me go off to a tangent. I'll get back to the point. I was watching this. I've heard the story, but I've never seen the 30 to 30 documentary on ESPN. It's like 2 hours long. It's really good. So anyways, they were a subpar team. And the ACC back when Michael Jordan, Ralph Sampson, all the guys were playing. And so they hired this new coach called Jim Valvano, and he comes down, and first practice he calls everybody out. And he has a ladder with him. And he takes the ladder, and he takes it up the goalpost. Has a pair of scissors, has a guy get up there, starts cutting the net. They thought he was crazy. And he said, get used to this because this may not happen this year, but we will be cutting that net really soon. So he basically believed in the team. Nobody thought they would get to where they were. One of the greatest Cinderella stories ever. I'm going somewhere in the story. So they lose one of the best. Rittenhouse, this guy, he gets injured. He's out most of the season. And they make it everybody makes it to the ACC tournament. And they're about a 500 team. And they started making a run. All these miracle shots come from behinds. They beat Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, one of the best basketball teams, Dean Center, Dean Dome, beat Ralph Sampson, Virginia. Anyways, they made a run. You know the story. They beat the Phi, Slamma Jam in Houston. Nobody thought they could beat them, and they won the national championship. So I got this shirt. It's called I Want to Party Like It's 1981. So I pulled the Harley Davidson out. I said, I'm going somewhere with this. I said, Clemson's going to get in. They're going to win Saturday. They're going to get in. Nobody thought we could do it in 1981. Nobody thinks we can do it now. We really weren't supposed to get in after we lost to Carolina. Some series of events happened. So I'm giving us a chance. I think there's a chance. I think if we can play each game, play four solid quarters, we got a chance. That's my hope. Now, will we do it? I don't know. And I'm saying there's a chance. Nobody thought we could do it in 1981.
Look,
We got just as good a chance as anybody.
I think our path to the championship is one of the easier paths to take.
It's got to be
until
Texas.
we get to Oregon. And
that'll be played on neutral side.
Oregon has been really good this year.
Well,
they have played really good. Now, granted, who have they played? Well, they played the Big Ten. And I'm sorry, you can call me biased all you want, but the Big Ten, in my opinion, is the most overranked conference in this nation. I mean, look at Penn State. Penn State has been one of the top 10 ranked teams, and yet every time they've played a top-ranked team, they've lost. But yet they're still in the playoffs. Okay? They didn't even play in their conference championship, but yet they're listed as the number 6 ranked team. So, all right, Tennessee. Everyone will say, well, the SEC is the best ranked or the best conference in the nation. Why? Why are they the best ranked conference? Oh, I'm sorry, because you got like 2 teams that like have been playing well, 3 teams that have been playing well. You can't really say Texas because Texas, this is the first year that they've been in the conference.
Yeah.
And
all right, so let's look at
Texas. Look at that. Go look at. I saw somebody mention it today. I saw a post. Texas didn't play Georgia, or no, they did play Georgia. My bad. Texas didn't play like half of the good teams in the conference. That's why
all right, let me talk. I'm just looking at Oregon's schedule. Okay, so Oregon, Idaho, they're nobody. They beat them first game. Boise State, they beat barely. Boise State's decent. They're in. They beat them by 3 points. That's the second game. Oregon State's not worth the crud this year. They beat them. UCLA, they don't even have a team. They beat them. Michigan State didn't have a team. They beat them. They barely beat Ohio State by 1 point. Ohio State got beat by Michigan. I mean, that's a decent win. Purdue is absolutely terrible this year. They beat them 35-0. Illinois was ranked 20th when they beat them. They beat them 38-9. Michigan is terrible. They beat them. Then again, Michigan beat Ohio State. They beat Maryland November the 9th, 39-18. They beat Wisconsin. It's a suspect team this year. Washington's not the team they were last year. They beat Washington pretty handily, 49-21. And then they had a good game against Penn State. They beat them by 1 touchdown. That was Saturday. So they had a couple teams in there.
Yeah. You talking about Oregon, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Oregon. I was just looking at their schedule.
Well, I mean, you can look at Texas. I mean, they played Colorado State. They played Michigan. They played UTSA, UL Monroe, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, Texas A&M, and then they played Georgia again. I mean, they didn't play.
And they got 2 losses.
The other good teams.
They got 2 losses.
They didn't play Alabama.
They've got 2 losses to the same team. That happens.
And that's unheard. That's usually unheard of in modern era football.
It's happened one time.
One team beats the same team in the same season. Like that's
one time in football history, and I think it was Texas and Texas A&M in 1905 or something. They were talking about it on radio. Yeah, Georgia's beaten them twice. But neither one of them games, those were close games. Could have gone either way. Texas was winning there for a while that first game. They came back in the second game, went into overtime. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm glad it's here.
I've heard a lot of the rumor mills, people saying that the refs won the game for Georgia. There's apparently some text message scandal. That there's a group text between the refs that has supposedly been leaked, saying that they were going to make sure Georgia won the game, something like that. So there's like this whole scandal thing around the Texas game. I don't know how much is true. It's just rumors that I've been hearing.
Well, the thing with the refs is we talked about it when tailgating. If you're a ref, I couldn't be one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anytime I watch football, give me just two generic teams and I start watching them, somewhere within the first couple of minutes in my head, I'm picking up a favorite. I want to win. And you know, refs and then we got SEC refs coaching an ACC SEC game, and then you see calls like you saw when Wesco caught that ball against Carolina. And I'm not trying to be the whining guy that makes excuses, but I guarantee you, if that was an ACC, he was in, and if that was an ACC
the referee called him in.
Huh?
The referee on the line said catch.
Yeah, they replayed it.
And then it as a catch.
If anything was indisputable, and I cannot believe they turned that over.
Indisputable evidence to overturn the original call.
And they
overturned it.
There are pictures that show that much green between his foot. I mean, you can see it. So
I know.
If you lose a game, you want to lose fair and square. You don't want to lose by a stupid call. You know? You got one job to do.
They got to stop, in my opinion, with the NCAA. Here's the problem, okay? You have referees that work certain conferences, okay? Mm-hmm. When you have an SEC team playing an ACC team and say the SEC team is playing at the ACC team's home field, they have the SEC refs referee the game, okay? So like when Clemson goes and plays South Carolina in South Carolina, they bring ACC refs. All right, they're trying to say that what makes it fair.
Well, doesn't make it fair
right now.
It doesn't matter where you're playing.
That's BS.
Refereeing it.
There shouldn't be any referee aligned within a conference.
You're right.
They should have Big Ten.
They should have Big Ten refs referee in the ACC games or something.
It shouldn't be any Big Ten refs or SEC refs or ACC refs.
It should be an independent league.
You should just have like the NFL has. You have this organization of refs.
The higher refs are not SEC or
NCAA refs. Yeah. All right. They're the only ones that call the games. And you want to so that was the other thing. Just like the ACC championship game. All right. They had ACC referees at the ACC championship game. When there was a controversial call or whatever it was a video room at the ACC headquarters that was watching the video to determine was it good, was it not, whatever, right?
Right.
Should not be any conference referees. There should not be a conference video room, whatever you want to call it. It should be one governing body, all right? One governing referees, no tie to any conference.
I agree with that.
And one room that's, professional referees. You can even call them retired NFL referees if you want, in this room watching the games. Hey, there's a challenge on the field. Bring up the video.
Yeah.
There
shouldn't be any bad calls, especially with video and, the instant replay and all. I mean, you got one job to do. And I mean, I'm a Clemson guy, and I wouldn't want to be a ref, but if I was reffing a Clemson Carolina game, it'd be very hard for me to be partial. I'm just being honest. I'm an honest guy. They'd be like,
well, there's been controversy
about it, man.
Well, there's been games where there was a referee who was a South Carolina alumni, literally graduated from South Carolina, who was refereeing the Clemson South Carolina game. And there were some bad calls that were made in that game. Yeah. People said, well, it's because he was a South Carolina graduate.
Probably was. I mean, let's be honest about it. You rep a South Carolina Clemson game, you're going to have a hard time making a call that could have gone either way. You're probably going to do it in Clemson's favor. It's going to be, I'm just being honest with you. It'd be hard to, but they need to get that right. They don't work every day of the year. You work, certain Saturdays out of the year, a couple of playoff games, ACC championship. Get it right, do it right. Yeah. And there's nothing worse. I mean, to have a game, I mean, they're bad calls every once in a while, but the call that actually affects the outcome of the game, that's the kind of calls we can't have.
Hey, the ACC championship game, Clemson went almost the entire game without one penalty called on them.
I noticed we didn't have a lot of penalties. No, I know SMU had quite a few.
One penalty was called on Clemson the entire game.
Really? Second half?
No, yeah, it was in the second half.
Well, holding or something?
It was, oh my gosh, what was it? I can't remember.
ACC refs? I mean,
well,
SMU is new to the ACC.
Because, like I said, I rewatched the game, and they were talking about it. They were saying the last time Clemson went an entire game without a penalty was versus Notre Dame, and it was like 1990 something, or It was, I can't remember exactly. It's just like 2009 or something. I can't remember exactly the date, but it was saying that was the last time Clemson went a game without a penalty.
Well, we watched that first half of that, Jordan. I watched most of that.
And I will tell you right now, I will say this right now. After rewatching the game on TV, there were so many missed holding calls on Clemson. Like defense, like the offensive line for SMU.
Yeah.
There were so many calls that
it should have been against SMU.
It should have gone against SMU, which would change the outcome of the game, if you ask me. And not only that, it was clear as day, the face mask on Cade Klubnik.
We saw that in the game.
We saw that. We saw it.
That was that would have been
watching it on TV. It was clear as day. He grabbed him
right
here. He didn't grab this.
Yeah.
He grabbed him right here at the side of the face mask right here and turned his head. And then like his hand like let go.
And we had to punt the ball. We could have got a first
down. Yeah. So
and then I saw the first half of the Georgia-Texas game, and it's like every other play there. There were like too many calls on that game. It's like every other play they make a call. But no, they just need to get that right. I mean, you got to have refs. I mean, we played yard football. We didn't have any. We did all right.
Yeah, like I said, it was clear as day on TV. Like after rewatching the game, it was clear as day. It was clear cut face mask, and they were. I couldn't tell you how many times they were holding Parker coming around the end. That would have been a sack or a loss of downs or loss of yards, if you will.
Yeah.
Tackle for loss.
Yeah.
They were like even Peter Woods.
We were penetrating the backfield.
He was going through the line, and they had his shirt like this, and he mentioned it. Well, there was a clear hold on Peter Woods, and they did. I mean, I could not believe how many calls that were missed on Peter Woods and Parker and the defensive line. Like I was just like, wow, they really missed a lot of calls.
Yeah. Well, we won.
I mean, we won, but that's my point. Was like
cheating or anything, but I mean, we just didn't. I'm not trying to be an armchair quarterback or coach, but I mean,
I try not to be.
I understand football. I've been playing and watching it all my life, and and I see the same things happen like 3 games. And in my opinion, what happens is we get ahead, and we ought to stay ahead, and we need to keep playing like we were to get ahead. It's kind of like we take a step back, and the momentum shifts, and we're not going for it. We don't have the same razzle dazzle. We're doing the calls up the middle, the down and out. Like we're not even expecting.
Like I said, you got a lot of the armchair coaches on Facebook that are, trying to point fingers at this or that. And I'm telling you, if you go back and watch the game without your orange goggles on, all right, take your orange glasses off, okay, and rewatch the game, all right, with an open mind, and you will clearly see SMU made game changes. All right?
Yeah, they're all.
It was 24-7 in the half at the halftime.
Yeah.
SMU's defense came out and said, "Okay, we know what they're doing. We got to stop what they're doing," and they did. They flat out did. Now, what they changed on offense was they started doing these like little underneath routes. Yeah. Where before they were kind of doing like these little like mid to long routes, which our DBs were shutting down.
Shutting down. They were coming up the middle.
But then the other part is our defensive line was getting in. Like they were putting pressure on the quarterback. Okay. Yeah. So he knew, hey, I don't have time. So he started to run the ball. He started to run and then throw the ball on the run. To these little short passes, these little short routes. And it was like our defensive line or defensive backs, if you will, was keeping everything in front of them.
Run them.
But when you
Never
do
get the ball and
that,
breaking
when you
some of
do
them.
that, you're getting a 10-yard here, you're getting a 5-yard there, you're getting a
Yeah.
10-yard, you're getting a 15-yard.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not
kudos to
getting
their
the 20,
offense.
the 30, the 40-yard deep passes,
Yeah.
but you're just chipping away.
Yeah, I get
Okay?
that.
Go back and look. They took time off the clock. They were chipping away.
I get that.
Chipping away.
Kudos to them. Their quarterback's a heck of a quarterback. I'm just saying
But that's what I'm
their
saying.
offense made some changes. It benefited. They should have done that. You know, they want to win.
I will
football
say
games.
the only thing that you can
I just say
blame
that our offense they got a different feel. You can feel it, man. I can't even really explain it. It's kind of like you're ahead by 17 and you're not playing like you were in the first half, the same abandonment, the same, let's go ahead and put the game out. It's almost like, let's run it up the middle, play safe, run the clock out.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, offensive wise, if you go back and look,
you're honest about it, we didn't do anything in the fourth quarter on offense.
So offensively, they even said it on TV. It was these curl routes, these comeback routes that Clemson was running. All right.
Yeah.
It was like 4 plays in a row. They did these comeback routes.
Yeah.
Wide receiver runs up about 6 yards, stops, turns around, and kind of comes back to the quarterback. And they were running that. And even the announcer on TV was saying they're setting up a deep pass. All right. So, and they did. Wesco, he goes like 5-10 yards, stops, stutter steps, starts to turn, and then goes upfield. And Cade missed like it was in his hands. Yeah. Like it just went through, it just overthrew him just a little bit. But that was what they were doing. They were doing this, like trying to set up like these little comeback routes. They were trying to set up because they were like, all right, now we're going to go deep. Now, you could say that the play calling was a little different for the offense. And I'll agree. There was a little bit more conservative play calling, if you will, in the second half. And I've said it all year. We get to the second half. We got the lead. We're doing this, and we start playing a little conservative. Don't turn the ball over. Not trying to go get the points. Don't turn the ball over, blah, blah, blah. And then we end up punting. We go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out because we're not trying to give up the ball. And I get what they're trying to do, but at the same time, that's not what's winning the game. We got to do what we did in the first half. Put the foot on the gas and go. And keep going.
If it's working, don't change it. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So, I'm just looking at the other. Actually, we got a bowl game. We start bowl games this weekend. Nothing about South Carolina State, Jackson State. I'm just looking at the schedule. California and UNLV. A decent game, I guess.
This Saturday, you got the Army-Navy game.
Oh, yeah. That's a good game. Always is.
So, you got Army ranked number 22.
Still regular season in it.
Sitting at 11-1. You got Navy with the 8-3 record. I'm gonna go ahead and say Army's gonna win this game. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Army's winning.
Army's winning.
I think Army is a lot better than Navy based on what I've seen.
The first real game we got is Friday, the 20th. That'll be the first playoff game. That's Indiana and Notre Dame. Notre Dame will win that. Indiana, I mean, where do they come from? They're a basketball team. But they went 11-1. Then they played somebody, Ohio State. It's just a weird season. And Ohio State killed them. But Ohio State got killed by Michigan. But
then you got the bowl games, the early bowl games that are starting. You got Jackson State versus SC State, South Alabama versus West Michigan, Memphis versus West Virginia. That actually might be a good game on Tuesday, December 17th. Memphis versus West Virginia. That could be a good game to watch. You got on what is this? 12-18, December 18th. You got California versus University of
Las Vegas,
Northern Las Vegas at the Art of Sport LA Bowl. That could be a good game to watch.
And then you got some weird, and then you got Indiana first playoff game will be Friday, 8:00, the 20th.
Yeah.
On ABC and ESPN, Indiana, Notre Dame. Vegas got Notre Dame 7.5. I think it may win more than that.
Friday, December 20th at 3:30 p.m. You got Florida versus Tulane, and the Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. I mean, come on. We already know who's winning that game.
The bowl for you, a bowl for you.
We already know Florida's going to win that game. Let's be real. Come on. I mean, although I will say record-wise, if you was to pick a team based on their record, Tulane is sitting at 9-4. Florida is sitting at 7-5. Okay?
Yeah.
But I just don't see Tulane beating Florida. I'm sorry.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's go to the playoffs. Let's go to do our picks. Okay, we got Indiana, Notre Dame. I got Notre Dame. They got Vegas has got 7.5. I've got Notre Dame at least winning by 14 or more.
Notre Dame will beat Indiana.
Yeah,
I will say that right now.
And then we got Saturday,
Indiana,
Clemson, and Texas.
I mean, look, Indiana has to go to South Bend. All right.
Yeah.
It's going to be played in South Bend, home field advantage. Okay.
Well, Indiana's 11-1 because they haven't had. I mean, they hadn't played anybody. So, and the team they played,
I mean, Indiana played all the other Big Ten teams.
Okay.
The only loss they have is to Ohio State.
Yeah. Clemson,
now,
Texas.
All right, who are you picking, Tennessee or Ohio State?
I've got Tennessee. Tennessee's going to beat Ohio State. And believe it or not, Ron Day's jobs, they keep talking about his job. Yeah, he's got him.
All right, so you're going Tennessee beats Ohio State.
Yeah, Tennessee's going to beat Ohio State. Vegas has got Ohio State.
As much as I hate Ohio State, I hate them. I can't stand them. I actually think Ohio State's going to come out and win that game only because they are pissed. They are literally pissed. They are like it's like Michigan went in there and kicked the Hornets' nest, and Ohio State is look out for blood right now.
Has Tennessee been in the college playoffs? I don't think they have.
No.
I think Tennessee's going to win. This is the first time in the college playoffs.
This is the first for Texas.
Texas,
this is the
first
first for Arizona State. This is the first for Tennessee.
I'm saying they haven't won national championship.
The first for SMU, first for Penn State, first for Boise State, first for Indiana, and that's the first team in the playoffs.
And it's the 7th for Clemson. The only body that's got more appearances than Clemson is Alabama at 8.
Georgia, Notre Dame,
Georgia's got
Ohio
6.
State.
Georgia's got a bye.
I'm going back and look. And Oregon. So Oregon, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. Only 4 teams that have ever been in the playoff setting.
Yeah.
So 4 out of the 12 has ever been in the playoff setting.
Clemson's the team in there has the most appearances.
Yes.
God, it feels good to be back in there. What has it been? 4 years? 3 years? Last time we were in there is when we lost to we lost. We went to the Natty and lost to LSU, and we actually went to the playoffs the following year and finally lost to Ohio State. Remember that? Trevor Lawrence. We were in the playoffs in 2021.
Yep.
No, it wasn't 3 years.
It was 2020.
2020. We played the bowl game.
So
2020.
We go to the national championship in 18-1.
Yeah.
We go and face LSU in 19. Should have won 19.
Yeah, we played them good. That's
unfortunately, LSU was on some kind of magical ride because they haven't done
football teams ever.
Then. All right. So 2020 we go, but then we got beat for the first time by Ohio State.
That beat pretty good. And we had Trevor Lawrence playing. Trevor won his first year.
We go undefeated against Ohio State, and the first time they beat us was 2020.
Yeah. We're undefeated.
And then we did not appear in 21, 22, or 23.
So it's been 3 years. Long enough. But, I mean, we wouldn't be in – I like it. I like the 12 team. We wouldn't be in it if it wasn't for 12-team expansion. It's amazing that we've been in it. This is our 7th appearance. We got in there 6 times, and you had to be in the top 4. That's not easy to do.
Well, this is the first year that it's been more than 4. So since
but I'm just saying we went 6 times. They started it in 2013, right?
No, 14.
12, 14. That wasn't that long ago.
So
I remember it was Ohio State, Oregon, and Ohio State won. It's the last time they won. From 14 to 24. That's been 10 years?
Yeah,
roughly, a little over. we've been 7 times, but most of those times we went, 6 times we went, there were only 4 teams. Now there's 12 teams, and this is our 7th appearance. Alabama's got 8. They're the only teams that had more than us. They're not even in it this year. All right. Any other interesting games? Oklahoma Navy.
So, hey,
who's
December 21st, 4:00 p.m. on TNT/Max will be Clemson versus Texas. Well, let me rephrase. Clemson versus Texas at Texas in Austin. You got to come loud, come proud, be there, cheer them on. We win that game, we advance.
Okay.
To play Arizona State.
Cheez-It Bowl.
Will be played on January 1st at 1 p.m.
South Carolina made it to the Cheez-It Bowl. They play Illinois.
Yeah, no one cares about a Cheez-It Bowl.
Their national championship this year is they beat us. They're playing Illinois in Cheez-It Bowl. One other thing I'll talk about, and we'll wrap it up. And this would actually change the ACC, the league of the ACC, and probably would put UNC where they want to actually sue the ACC and be. There's serious talk about Bill Belichick coming to UNC. I don't know what he's thinking.
I just don't see it.
He gave him a 400-page book of what he needs to do.
You go from coaching a multi-Super Bowl winning team.
Maybe he wants to challenge. I'm telling you, he does. He's not doing it for the money. He's got plenty of money.
But he has no ties to North Carolina.
He wants to coach. He gave him a 400-page report. I guarantee you, Matt Brown came there.
No ties to North Carolina.
If he was Nick Saban about it,
if he's going to coach, why doesn't Tepper go get him for the Panthers?
It may not happen. I heard it. I heard it Friday from Mike, and I thought he'd lost his mind. And I
heard the rumors too.
And they talked about a good bit on the Roar today. It would be interesting. I mean, he needs to go to Dallas. My team's suffering over there.
I cannot see Belichick, legendary Hall of Fame coach Belichick.
I'm just saying,
coach the Tar Heels.
If he does, they will be a different team. He wouldn't play around. I'm sold on the fact behind every great team's a great coach. He's the GOAT. Even Nick Saban calls him up for advice.
You know what? If you told me Nick Saban was going to go coach UNC, I'd believe that, but not Belichick.
I think
I'm sorry. I do not believe Belichick would be the coach at UNC. I'm going to tell you right now, no. Thumbs down. Belichick is not going to coach UNC.
I'd be saying if he did, I'd be scared of North Carolina in a couple of years.
I mean, obviously, but he's not. There's no way.
I don't know how that connection. Well, Matt Brown got fired. That's all I know. But how Belichick's name got thrown in there, I don't know. But it's been going on.
Okay, but look at the background on that. Yeah, Matt Brown got fired. It was a bad season for UNC since he's been there. But he has ties to North Carolina. He was a head coach at North Carolina way back before he was coach at Texas.
I know.
That makes sense.
I'm surprised
to bring Matt Brown out of retirement and become the head coach. But
I'm Belichick, Mike told me that right before the show. I said, "You crazy,
Belichick."
And then I started hearing it. Then I started seeing it. And it's on ESPN. Stephen A. is talking about it. I mean,
come on, Belichick is not going to be coaching at UNC.
He must have gotten. What has he been? 3 years retired now. He must be getting really bored.
He's not going to be coaching.
He's got a 26-year-old model girlfriend and plenty of money.
He's not going to be coaching. I'm sorry. He's not going to be coaching at UNC. He's just not.
I mean, if something happened to Dabo, I'd see him more likely to go to Clemson.
Belichick is not going to go down to college. If any other job, if he was to take another job, it would be with an NFL team.
If he did go to college, why? I mean, UNC's a basketball. UNC is soft in football.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be UNC. He's not going back to college. He is an NFL coach. Okay?
UNC will never have – I mean, UNC's never really had a dominant football team. They've had a couple.
All right, so Texas, Clemson, December 20th, 4 o'clock p.m. on TNT. Memphis, Clemson, basketball, Saturday, the 14th at 11 a.m. That's a home game. So if you're not doing anything else, get your butts down to Little John and pack that stadium out for Memphis.
Yeah, we're going to be there Saturday.
And cheer on the Tigers for the basketball team.
So you know what? Spurs up, Spurs down. Hook 'em horns. It's going to be hook 'em down. That's the new Clemson thing.
We're going.
How about that, Matthew McConaughey? All right. Hook 'em down.
Horns down. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. See you next week. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to end it.